to that in just a second. Let me just go ahead and pull this out here. So welcome to They Are Billions discussion and ideas. So the entire idea behind this is that we're going to go ahead and explain what the good things about the game are, what the bad things are, and a couple of the things that I see a lot of potential in this game. I see a lot of things that could be added to the game, and I want to go over these things and potentially open the developers' eyes that they could add so much in depth to the actual game that it's insane. But I get a bad feeling that they haven't really thought about things like that, and I don't see anyone actually writing about these ideas on the forums, Steam sections, discussions. I haven't seen any of that. So definitely want to go over that as well. So it's going to be what are the good things about the game, the bad things, and the general new ideas that could be added on top of like what we already have. All right, so here we go. Great things about the game. So like I said, a lot of people come to my channel. They ask me like, hey man, you know, is the game worth the buy? Well, you're asking that from a guy who has $1,000 in a game. I think I went over 1,000 just recently now. So I have roughly about 1,000. You ask a guy who's played this for $1,000, is it worth a buy? Well, obviously I'm gonna tell you it's worth it, but like I said, I never really went over the reasons why, and here they are. These are just a couple of the things that came on top of my head. Well polished. By well polished, I mean the game works well, feels well, plays well. Graphics are done well. I haven't really noticed any graphical bugs. I think the graphics are great, especially for an RTS game. If you're like a fan of strategy game, definitely worth it, right? So all in all, it's just well polished when it comes to unit movement, unit interaction, buildings. Everything kind of feels done, if you know what I mean. Although it says that it's still supposed to be like an early access game, it doesn't feel like that. It actually feels complete. Replayability. Now, replayability is definitely there because we have 4 maps in the game. You have a ton of different, got the word. You have a lot of different, modes, as in like you can tune the game down to your liking depending on the percentage. You can play an easier mode and then you can play a harder mode. And since the maps change all the time, it's definitely, this is really important actually, because if the maps were consistently the same and they didn't change, they weren't randomly generated every time, the replayability would not be there. The reason why the replayability is actually there is because of the consistent change of the like the map itself, because the map actually changes all the time. So yeah, beginner friendly. Now I have to say this is beginner friendly because when I first started, I started playing this on the maximum difficulty. It took me only like a few games to learn how things work. There aren't that many buildings and units in the game in that sense that it would be hard, and there's nothing really, everything is very straightforward, so I would say it's pretty beginner friendly as well. Graphics, I already mentioned that. Graphics are kind of like, it kind of goes under the well polished section. So yeah. Also, hey Darkman, how you doing? Dark Madman, sorry. How you doing, my friend? So yeah, graphics go under that section. I think graphics are good. Not great. I want to say graphics are good for an RTS game. They're all right. Could be better, of course. I would say this reminds you a lot, like, let's say, something similar to like Age of Empires 3 graphics or something like that. Run smooth. Now, by run smooth, I mean there aren't any crashes. I don't remember actually crashing ever. I don't. Now, this is really important. You can go to any early game access game. You can go and play that. Within the few first days, you're going to be like, God, I'm so sick and tired of that crash, man. why does it keep crashing all the time, man? And you're gonna go there and go like, God, I'm so sick and tired of that. Like, it runs smooth. There aren't any big issues with the game that would disturb your gameplay. You're not like, oh, I crashed in the middle of the game, God. You get kind of disturbed of that, you know. So run smooth. That's all I got. Out of all the early access games, I played a lot. I played most of the early access games and the betas and whatnot. So I gotta say this is one of the best within the few years that I've seen. To be honest, it's really bogless, nearly bogless. Roti on the YouTube. Hey, welcome there. Vico Killer, welcome. Unique idea. Now, this is also something, I mean, we can all agree that this game attracted people from all genres. You know, Hearthstone, it attracted the new big names from Hearthstone, you know, from FPS games even. So why did the game attract so much attention of so many people? Because it has a unique idea to it. We're talking about an RTS game that has survival element to it. It was featured on the front page of Steam, of course, for the unique idea alone. And I guess like a lot of people that played the beta and whatnot, I didn't personally, I didn't play the beta, but a lot of people that did, they wrote really good reviews about the game. So it got to the front page, of course. And because it has really the unique aspect to it. So as in like, you know, you have an RTS game where you build stuff, you strategize, you build units, the regular stuff. But then you have something in it that kind of makes it different from anything else, which is, of course, you know, the zombies on the map. And that you get random waves, you know. You don't see that anywhere. Unlike other games, you can go to FPS game where you have the same element. You go to a different game, but you feel that it is kind of the same what you just played the other day, the other like MMO or FPS. It feels the same. There's not much difference, and you're like, a few days later, you're already sick and tired of it just because it's literally the same than the last game you played. So definitely unique aspects to it. And you don't really see these type of games so often these days. There are many unique games out there. Usual thing what you see are one game being copied from another one. Story is different. Gameplay feels about the same as, you know, the other game. So stuff like that. So unique things are kind of rare these days. So that's why I value this so high. So there you go. These are the good things. These are just a couple of the good things that I want to put on this list. Some of the things that I think are well worth mention. So there you have it. All right, let me just go ahead and sip my water here as well. What do you think, guys, you would actually add on top of the good things? Because these are the things that I put in the list. Maybe I missed something out. Maybe there's more to be mentioned for the game and why it's so good. Perhaps I missed on something. What would you add on top of the list, chat? Would you add anything here? Or do you think I went over most of it? I'm waiting for your output, chat. Lots of depth. Yeah. Alright. Hands down on the lots of depth. Lots of depth indeed. Right. So yeah, these are the good things. Harpies. Harpies, yeah. Harpies. Alright, so as with everything in life, you also have some of the bad things. I'm not here to murder the developers. I'm not here to say that they've done a bad job at the game. I mean, everything has pros, everything has cons, and just opening the eyes for the developers as to how they could improve is actually a good thing. So it's just a little bit of a criticism on some of the things that I see being bad, because I have $1,000 in the game. I've been playing this for over half a year now, and I notice these things day by day, and they can become pretty annoying by the end of the day if they're not fixed. All right, so some annoying parts. Like I already said, some things just don't get fixed, and it's just, it can become such a problem to some point, especially to a player who keeps going day by day, day by day, day by day, you know? Microphone. Who keeps going day by day and notices these and has to go through that all the time. Now, one bug that I want to mention and like bring out, and so you understand what I'm kind of talking about here, is like a bug. Like, let's say you save a game and now you can't load the game immediately because there's a bug that will throw runners in and you will die. It's very so much that simple. So you save the game, you go back in, and you get random runners. It's a bug. It's a well-known bug. It's been there for a good 4 months. Hasn't been fixed yet, but it's still there. So instead, you have to quit the game, get back inside it. It's actually critical. These type of critical bugs should definitely be fixed faster. So I see a little bit of slacking from the developers' part. Also, not enough updates. This is bad. And especially to a guy who has 1,000 hours in the game. I play this day by day. Day by day. It's been half a year now. We got one major update in the game, which added the wonders. That was awesome. It also brought back a lot of big streamers, you know, and people had a lot of fun with it. That was cool. I liked it. But there hasn't been any other updates than that. The game's now out, nearly a year? And that's the only major update that we got. I'm sorry, but there's just not enough updates for the game. There's not enough being added. All you can really read from, Steam and whatnot is that they are working on something which was announced about a half a year ago, and it's terrible. So I'm just being honest here. People need to know that if someone is going to buy the game, they need to know that, probably they're not going to get much more updates into the game, right? And that will bring us to the low number of content. Now we're talking about having 4 maps in the game. Some units to work with. We got a ranger. We got, we got a sniper. We got a Thanatos. We got, soldier and a Titan. How many units is that? Let's count these units on our fingertips. Ranger, soldier, sniper, Lucifer, Thanatos, and Titan. 6 units. We have a variation of only 6 units in the game. Game's been out a year. A bloody year. 6 units? How hard is it to make an extra unit for an RTS game? It's not hard. Probably if you're actually working on it, making a new unit is going to take you a week or 2. And you can already add it. I can bring a very good example here with Legion. Legion Tower Defense 2. New units being added every month. Not even a month. Every second, every 2 weeks. New units in. It's not that hard. Simple. So that brings low number of content, man. There's not enough maps being added. There's not enough units being added. Simple things. Doesn't even need to be a major update. It can be a minor update. Hey, we added a new unit. That's it. Simple. So, low number of content. So by the end of the day, you're stuck with just playing one map all over and over again, or you can just switch the map. But the variation of buildings and stuff is just always the same. So there you go. Most bugs are only annoying when you play no post. They don't affect me as much. I don't mind them as much as long as the game is in early access. Yeah, I know the game is early access, but it's early access already for... It's a great game for early access. Like I said, I'm not here to I'm not here to say that the developers have done a bad job, but I'm just trying to make them understand that things could be done in a way that you can still add more content to the game by doing really minor updates, getting like 1 unit in, with an update. Hey guys, we introduced a new unit. See? It's not that hard. So there you have it. Leonardo is still more content on than PewDiePie's channel. Oh God, I don't watch PewDiePie myself. All right, now we're gonna head into the improvements and new ideas. So that's gonna happen. And I'm gonna let this video play in the background as well. Right, so this is this is the most important part of this discussion thread, and probably the most interesting part. This is where I would like to open up, the developers' eyes, and perhaps, hopefully, they will see that some of these ideas will make the game so much different. All right, let's start from more unique maps. Now, more unique maps. I'm not talking about just having more maps, but more unique maps. In the sense that a map, when you generate a map, we have this randomness, you have food here, you have stuff there. But more unique maps means that when you generate a map, there would be more random things on the map. Sometimes they spawn on the map, sometimes they don't. So into this random generation of the map, we could possibly add in a couple extra things, tiny things on the map that will, like, for example, they're making the train tracks right now. But we're talking about maybe a little bit more minor things, even like small things that might matter. Maybe like stuff that, all right. So what would be a good example here when it comes to unique maps? Like, let's say map 2 would have something spawn in it, which map 3 doesn't, right? Because we're in a grassland. Like, let's say on a grassland now we have like something spawn here. I don't know, some kind of special trees that produce more wood, whatever. Pretty simple. So when it comes to winter map, the same thing. Something that is really unique to that map and might spawn in it, but might not. So there's that. So just something unique, because it may seem like very simple idea, but you would be surprised how people just don't come up with it. They don't see it. And I think it would really, really make the run so much different as well, map by map. Just because you have these extra different things spawn on them every now and then. That would be really nice. So that every map has some unique aspects to it, more than we have right now. Just like right now we have like this map with more grassland, more food. Typical stuff, but adding a little bit more on top of that would be really nice. All right, again, map missions and objectives. I'm very surprised that this hasn't been done yet. Why don't we have some optional missions on the map that you can do? All right, so let's bring a good example here as an optional mission. Let's say you have a mission, destroy some kind of special boss on the map. I don't care what the boss is. You can come up with the boss. It's all up to you. But you have a boss spawn in certain part of the map. It's way stronger than other zombies, right? It will take you quite a bit to kill it. But when you kill it, let's say it would do something for you. Let's say block one of the sides from sending raids. Now this wouldn't count, like, let's say for the final raid. The final raid, they would still attack from that side, but you would know that, okay, so now one side, I know that I don't get attacked from that side, right? You know it. So it would help you a little bit. It doesn't have to be that. You can give resources for doing the extra mission or objective. It's up to really them to come up with the ideas with that. But general idea that I have here is missions and objectives. And these should be randomly generated each time you play a map. You would have a different objective, and it would give you different kind of results. No, not results. What the bloody heck? When you complete the mission, it would give you, stuff. It would give you it would reward you with something. It doesn't have to be always resources. It can be any kind of objective on the map as well. Maybe it reveals a part of the map after you do the objective. After you create the objective, it reveals a part of the map, for example. Why not? A good idea, guys, right? What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the missions and side objectives for each time you play a map? Sounds great, right? And it gives you rewards. Amazing. I think that's an amazing idea, and it's a simple idea. I mean, this just comes from any kind of MMO game as well. You have side missions, objectives, of course. I don't see why they haven't added this into this game. It's a great idea. And not that hard to pull off either. Why not? You would have a zombie boss on the map. Think about it. How much more interesting would it make things? Oh my god, I got this boss to kill. And you can have like a boss fight in an RTS game. It's still an RTS game. It's just an objective on the map. You gotta kill the boss. Easy. Alright, so unique meta choices. Alright, so with the unique meta choices, I'm gonna have to explain this a little bit more in depth. This is something that I see. This kind of comes to the replayability part of the game, where I feel like the meta choices that we have right now are not adding much to the game, really. I think what adds the most to the game right now are like the units you get from the mares. But what I mean with unique mare choices is something that would really change the flow of your game. Now, we're talking about one or the other. Let's say you can get one or the other house or building from mares, but you can only get these things from mares. You can't just build them always. You will only get them from mares. We're talking about choices like that. Now, that would add so much more replayability for the game. Because right now, the mare choices are just adding you more resources, same unit. You can just create the unit yourself. I mean, it makes the game easier for you, but it doesn't really add the interesting part to it, you know? It doesn't really add something extremely interesting to each of your run. Like, oh my god, what am I gonna get? Oh, am I gonna get this deck here, or am I gonna get that deck? Awesome, right? Again, why did I put this into the list is that I feel like that would really, you know, has anyone ever played, what was the game called? Oh god, what was the game name? Let me find the game name quickly, guys. Give me a moment here. Sorry about that. God. What was the name? God, I don't remember the name of the game. Again, a huge Slay the Spire. Because this inspiration of the unique meta choices actually comes from Slay the Spire. Every time you climb up a thing, you get a choice between different cards, right? So it's like you only get that choice in different ways, right? The same, you could apply the same unique idea into the meta choices. You can only get certain, technologies only from the mares and mares alone, and that's it. You don't get the technology. You can't get it from the game unless you pick it from the mare. Same for the units. You have some unique units in the mare choices, and you only get those units from the mare alone. There you go. Mares are based on mission objectives, number of colonists. That's not a bad idea. I mean, yeah, you could easily do that because you can add like the mare choices. Like maybe if you complete. Oh, sorry about that. How do I go back? Let's go back. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of like once you actually get to the point of making this, like once you actually create the mare choices that only are based on like what you can pick from the mares, then you can kind of start combining that with the maps and missions and stuff. But that comes later. I mean, first you have to do it. First you have to create these unique ideas and put them into the play. They did improve. I like the idea. Yeah, they did. There are a couple of unique ideas in the mares, but I just the entire idea of the mare, what I want to see and what would make every single what would make every single one of those games so much more interesting would be when you have these unique mare choices with like you only get one or the other, you have one or the other technology that you can pick. Something really unique that every time you play the game, you never know what you're gonna end up with, right? So that's why I said it. And let's say you have a mere choice between a technology of one or the other unit. So you get to pick like, am I gonna have this unit as my technology or the other one? But you can never really actually research it yourself. It's just like you get the new technology, right? Again, adds so much more replayability because you never know what you get. So that's why I added it. All right, anyway, moving on. More units and buildings variety. I mean, I already went over that. I'm not really going to go more into depth with it. We just want more units and more building variety. That's it. How these more units and building varieties comes into play. You can put the more units and building variety into the mere choices, like I already mentioned. You can put them into the mere choices in a way that you can then pick it from the mere and then build the unit what you picked from the mere and build the building what you picked from the mere as well. Very easy, actually, but a great idea, which adds so much more variety into each one of your runs. Now, the one thing that I really want to actually go over is the unlocking system. Now, many of the games actually have such a thing as unlocking system. You play the game, you unlock something new. It's basically like, it should be based on the mission objectives, achievements in the game, stuff like that. Yeah, it should be based on that. What I mean by unlocking system is something such as, how should I call it? You know the things where you're in game and you unlock, let's say, skins for buildings, whatever. I'm talking about cosmetics here, of course, right now. But still, you would be able to unlock, let's say, new look for your sniper when you do certain missions, when you kill a certain amount of zombies. You get to unlock like new look for your snipers, or maybe even unlock certain buildings and stuff that you would be able to build during the runs. I don't know how to exactly implement, like how they would make this possible. But yeah, that would be a really big change though, because we don't really have any type of unlocking system in the game so far. So that would probably be a really major update for them. Getting the unlocking system done for, different skins that you can unlock throughout, like killing certain amount of zombies, doing some missions and stuff. It would still be fun and still would add something for you to do during your games, and you would have something to work towards for. Yes, this is going on at JT as well. So there you go, guys. So these are just a couple of the ideas that I came off right off my, these are a couple of the ideas that I came up with. Do let me know what you think about it. This is I find these being unique, and I think this is there's a lot of potential in these ideas, and they would add so much more variety into each of your runs, way more replayability as well. Absolutely awesome. I like these ideas. I really hope developers actually see this video and they see the ideas and see them being useful, and this would make a really big difference as well. Especially to a lot of the people that have played this game for a long time, have streamed the game for a long time. And also for the new people, of course. Great ideas. I'm sure these ideas take time to actually get up in the air and running. So yeah. Anyway, so that's it for the improvements and the ideas. So what do you guys think? Shoot it out. What do you guys think about the ideas? Or is there anything else that you would add on top of the list? I'm asking you chat right now. Is there anything else that you think might be worth a very good shot and you think is worth adding on top of what is in this list right now? I'm waiting on your chat. Let me know. Just tuned in, so you missed my ideas. That's all right. You can see the ideas in the list right here. They're right there, man. I want preachers across lakes. Bridges across the lakes is exactly the same as I already mentioned with the more unique maps. That's what I mean. Each map would have something new in it, something different in it. So, and bridges actually go under the same idea. like under the same thing, like more unique maps. God damn it, I keep clicking. Right. So yeah, the preaches actually go under the same. Oh, patch the 500%. I mean, I'm talking about adding more variety to each of the runs and adding more unique things in the game in general. I my idea wasn't to go over a couple of the little things that they can do. My idea was to bring out huge things that would really impact the way you play the game each time. And I think that the things that I brought out right now are great. So there you go, guys. Those are my ideas and improvements that the game could use. Summary: not all heroes hold the doors. Some just open them. And my whole purpose was to open the door for developers and to open it up with new ideas that could be added to the game. So there you have it. That was my idea. Text for units. Yep. That's a great idea. That would be really worth adding on top of the list here. That would definitely be worth adding on top of the list here. Where did my list go? Yeah. Like tech for units. Improvements for units. That would be worth. Yep. Definitely. 100%. Also, like, you can do so much with the units as well. You can even do, like, let's say you can make one of your units some kind of a hero in the game, which means that they're going to be a lot more tougher, a lot more harder to beat, right? You can just elect one of your units as a hero, let's say. You can research that and you go like, okay, this unit is going to be stronger than the other one. Stuff like that. And yeah, not all heroes hold the door. Some just open them. And yeah, I just wanted to open the eyes of the developers that there's so much potential for the game. And I think by adding the little things that I meant, not even little, those are pretty big things. If you do the changes the way I mentioned them, that would add so much more variety to each of the runs, and people would be so proud of that as well. It would be awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening to the summary and the There Are Billions discussion. I think I put a lot of good stuff into it. Again, I had to go over the pros and cons. You always have cons in the game. I'm sorry to the developers, but I just went over it. I have no hard feelings against it. I know you developers are busy as well, doing, like, they're working on another game right now, I believe. So I get it. I totally understand it. But still, it's worth mentioning out and bringing out the cons, of course. But there's more great of the game. The game is definitely, I mean, the greatness and positivity of the game overcomes the little things that are bad. So it really doesn't matter as much. And that's the end of the discussion for TAP. So for those that are like, is the game worth it? Yes, 100%. You're going to get way more. You're going to get a way more value out of the money that you put in that you would ever even think about. Even if you're not an RTS game fan, you would still get more content out of the game than you get from many of the other games. I played so many other games in my past. Some games I just bought, I only spent like 5 hours in it, and it already feels so repetitive that you are unable to play it more. You're like, all right, I'm done. Stuff like that. All right, we're done with this discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you like the new ideas and stuff. And let's hope that they get implemented. All right? Let's hope for that. Because I really love some of these ideas that I put in. And that's it for this one. Yeah. All right, guys. Let me go ahead and